guys, welcome to Keeping It Simple Crafts. Are you ready to make a wreath? I have a patriotic wreath tutorial for you, and in this video I go step by step and show you how to make the wreath plus this beautiful bow. I hope you enjoy this tutorial. If you do, please give this video a thumbs up, leave me a comment, share this tutorial, and if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, I would love to have you as a subscriber. It is free to subscribe. I share lots of budget-friendly DIYs, shop with me videos, shopping hauls, and decorating videos. For today's tutorial, you're going to need a grapevine wreath, and this is an 18-inch grapevine wreath, a sign, and this Land of Liberty, Live Free sign came from Dollar Tree for $1.25. You will also need some red, white, and blue floral picks, and I picked up my flowers at Dollar Tree. And these are very pretty. Dollar Tree has lots of pretty flowers out right now. And in a couple days, I'll share a Dollar Tree shop with me video, and it shows all of the beautiful flowers that they have out right now. I didn't use these lilacs. I thought I would, but I ended up just going with the poppies, or at least I believe they're poppies. I did not get the star at Dollar Tree, but Dollar Tree does have some pretty blue ones and red ones that are tabletop decor. And you're going to need some 10-inch deco mesh and a couple colors of ribbon with wire. First, you're going to take your mesh, gather it in your hand, and make a loop, pinch it together, go to the top of your wreath, and I'm just using some 4-inch clear zip ties, threading it through the grapevine wreath, going to wrap it around the mesh to secure it on. Now you could use floral wire if you do not have any zip ties, but I have just found that it's a little bit easier to use the clear 4-inch zip ties. Move down about 8 or 9 inches and make a poof or puff. Same steps. Take your 4-inch zip tie, thread it through your grapevine wreath, and then you're going to put your mesh in it and zip tie your mesh to your grapevine wreath. When you're making your poofs, kind of roll the outer edges inward to kind of make a puff or poof, whichever you like to call it. So kind of slide your hand down about 8 or 9 inches, rolling the outer edges inward. And you're going to just repeat the same process all the way around this wreath. Now you can do these same steps with any color mesh that you want. You can make this wreath for any season or holiday. I am just making mine for Memorial Day and the 4th of July. But you can do these same steps with any color of mesh for any season or holiday or special occasion. And here I'm just trimming off the extra part of the zip tie, and I'm just going to continue making 8 or 9 inch puffs. Notice how I rolled those outer edges inward when I formed my puff. Now I'm just going to zip tie it on. So I'm going to put the mesh all the way around the entire grapevine wreath. Sorry if you hear something. My husband is mowing our front yard with the tractor, and it's a little bit noisy. At the beginning I said make a poof for the top, but I actually ended up putting the poof on the bottom instead of the top, and you'll see in just a minute how it looks. And then I left a long tail to hang down at the bottom with the mesh. And I used 10-inch mesh that I picked up on sale at Hobby Lobby. So 1 roll of mesh. Next, I'm adding some Gorilla Glue, hot glue, to the back of this styrofoam star. If you have any cable tie mounts, you could add one to the center, hot glue it on, and then wire it on, or use a zip tie to attach it to your wreath. And I did use the little hanger at the top and zip tie the star on after I hot glued it on. Just be very careful when you use your hot glue. I am placing the star on the bottom, kind of right side, right on top of that first poof that I made. And then here I am zip tying the top loop on just to make sure it stays in place, and then I added a little bit more hot glue behind the star. Just want to make sure everything stays in place because I'm going to be putting this on my front door. Next, to secure the patriotic hat, I'm taking a cable tie mount, adding some Gorilla Glue hot glue to it, sticking it on, then adding more Gorilla Glue hot glue around it, going to sit it aside and let it dry. While it's drying, let's tie a big, beautiful bow. So I have 2 rolls of 2.5-inch width ribbon with wire that I bought at Hobby Lobby, and I'm cutting it into strips at 24 inches. So I cut, I believe, 5 strips of the navy and white polka dot and 4 strips of the red and white striped ribbon. 9 strips total. Take 1 strip of ribbon, fold it about halfway down, then you're going to move up from the end just about 1.5 inches, pinch it together to make your first loop. And I'm going to measure, and this loop is about a 6-inch loop. And notice below my fingers I have a little bit of ribbon left so the loop doesn't pull out. Taking my second strip of ribbon, folding it about halfway down, going to gather it together, pinch it together, and I'm just going to do alternate colors, but it doesn't matter. So I pinched it together, added it to my hand, left a little bit below my fingers, and for some reason I decided to do about a 5.5-inch loop with a red and white stripe, 6-inch loops with the polka dot ribbon. So same steps, you're just going to make loops. This is the easiest way to tie a bow because you are just folding it in half, pinching it together, adding it to your hand, and making beautiful loops, and it makes a big, beautiful bow that's really a showstopper. If you would like longer tails to hang down, then make sure you cut your strips of ribbon longer than 24 inches. I am just going to continue making loops and alternating colors, and notice how I've kind of placed like one on the left, one on the right, one in the center. It just makes it a little bit easier when you go to shape your bow. Then you're going to want to have a zip tie or some floral wire close by so that you can zip tie your loops together or wrap floral wire around it. It's easier for me to use a zip tie to secure my loops, and then I usually take a piece of floral wire and thread it underneath the zip tie when I'm ready to attach it to my wreath. Remember, there are lots of different ways to tie bows. I have a bow tutorial playlist on my YouTube channel. I can link the bow tutorial playlist because there's lots of different styles of bows, different ways to make bows, different sizes. Just kind of depends on what you're going to use it for. And this is just one way to make a bow. So now I have all of my loops made. Now I'm taking a zip tie, and I think this is an 8-inch zip tie, wrapping it just above my hand, going to zip tie nice and tight my loops together, and then I'm going to cut off the extra part of the zip tie. And then for this one I am just going to cut the ends at a slant. I usually dovetail my ends, but for some reason this time I just went with cutting the ends at a slant. If you're enjoying this tutorial so far, please let me know. I really appreciate it. It really helps my channel when you interact with it and leave me a comment and share my videos. So I really appreciate when you take the time to leave a comment. It helps me so much, and like I said, it brings me a lot of joy reading your comments too. And I also just wanted to say thank you all that are following my videos on Mango and her 8 kittens. They are 1 week old today. Today is May 10th, 2024, and I appreciate all the sweet and positive comments on Mango. She is a rescue. She was dropped off at our house, pregnant, and now she has 8 little kittens. Okay guys, back to the bow tutorial. I just fluffed and shaped my loops, and now I'm just going to spread out the tails. If you want a fuller bow with more loops, then cut more than 9 strips of ribbon. And you can cut 9 strips of ribbon all of the same color. You can use 3 colors. However you would like to do it, there's lots of different ways. Just make sure you use ribbon with wire because your loops will stand up. The bow just holds its shape better and it's easier to work with. I usually do an odd number of strips of ribbon when I make a big bow like this. Now I'm going to take some 20 gauge floral wire, thread it underneath the zip tie, just be very careful, and that way I can take the floral wire, thread it through the grapevine wreath, go the back, twist the wire, cut it off short and fold it down. That's just an easy way to attach your bow. I am placing the bow basically in the bottom center right beside my star. Like I said, I am threading those wires through the grapevine wreath, going to go the back, twist them, cut them off short, and fold them down, then fluff and shape my bow. I probably should have left a little bit longer tails than I did. You'll have to let me know what you think, if it needs some longer tails hanging down. Here's how the wreath looks with the pretty star and the beautiful big loopy bow. Now we're going to add some more fun elements. We are going to take the Dollar Tree hat. I'm just threading a piece of floral wire through the cable tie mount, going to give the wire a twist. Then I'm going to the top left side, going to take the wire, thread it through the grapevine, right there by the zip tie kind of. Thread it through, and then go the back, give the wires a few twists, cut them off short, and fold them down. Now I did add some hot glue to the back of the sign too, so that I can make sure that it didn't move, that it stays just where I want it. I bought something new off of Amazon that you'll see in just a little bit, and I've always liked Gorilla Glue hot glue guns and glue sticks, and I've always used the little mini ones. But I saw somebody on TikTok and they had this little Sure Bonder little hot glue, I believe they called it mini skillet. And so I thought, well, I'm going to order one of those and try it out. So you'll see it right here. It's really small. It wasn't very expensive. And you just heat up your hot glue sticks, or you can buy the pellets, and then cut your flowers shorter, put a little on the stem, then push it into the grapevine wreath. So I think I'm going to like it, but this was my first time using it, and I was a little messy with the hot glue, but you just have to be very careful anytime you use hot glue. I used a total of 4 of the Dollar Tree Poppy 4th of July or red, white, and blue picks. I just cut them shorter, added some hot glue to the end, and placed them around the sections where I had zip tied the mesh to the grapevine wreath. And here's how it looks with the flowers added. Now I'm ready to go outside and hang up my wreath on my front door. And the sun is shining right now, beautiful. It's nice and warm, so I am really enjoying this weather. You'll have to let me know what the weather's like at your house and when you're watching this wreath tutorial. In the comments section, let me know what type of wreath you would like to see next and for what season. And would you like for me to do a Christmas in July series? I am thinking about doing a Christmas in July, doing the whole month of July, doing Christmas DIYs. So what do you think about that? Would you be interested in that? Is that something that you would watch? If you're still here watching this tutorial, thank you so much. That means so much to me. I really appreciate it. I really enjoy my YouTube channel. I really enjoy reading your comments. So thank you so much, and I hope you have a beautiful day.